Hello everyone. In this presentation, I will share an overview of some important information for us to get ready for the execution phase and reflect on the onboarding phase. The goals of this meeting are to align all doubts before entering the execution phase, work through how proposals and voting work in XDAO, review DAO proposal and Q&A, reflect on onboarding phase, reinforce key tools, documentation, and DAO norm. I will introduce information and insight to help us align on the next step, such as our current state, project submission, voting, and first payment workflows, best practices, learning and improve, and timeline review. First, let's review our journey so far. On the left is the timeline chart showing our current state. We are now at the end of onboarding phase and about to enter the main phase execution. On the right is the checklist for your onboarding. At this time, you have already completed all these action items and are working on the group proposal. Before I go to the workflows of proposal submission, voting, and first payment, here's an overview. Today, October 10, we will have a review of the DAO proposals. At the end of this day, all proposals will be submitted via the Create Proposal feature on XDAO with 14-day voting period. By October 17, DAO facilitators will complete the preliminary qualification. Until October 24, DAO participants will vote on the qualified proposal listed in the voting tracking sheet. Then we will proceed with the first payment by October 31st. Now, our proposal submission, posting, and first payment workflows will be based on XDAO. As mentioned in the kickoff meeting and dev docs, each DAO has a DAO space on XDAO for members to submit and vote on proposals and manage DAO funds. Before you experience this workflow with XDAO, we would like to address the opportunities and challenges for your understanding. The opportunities here, we will see blockchain-based DAO platforms can empower community with transparency, automation, and trust, which will result in better autonomy for decentralized communities. But we will also experience the challenges that blockchain in general and this DAO platform in particular are at early stage development, so the experience may not be user-friendly due to technical barrier. We encourage you to open to try with us with the exploratory and experimental mindset. Now, let's go to the workflows. You can find more detail in the XDAO Wizard Guide page on DevDoc. Here I just overview the key steps. The first step is connect to your DAO space. We all are familiar with the concept login in traditional website. In Web3 or blockchain-based site, it is done by connecting your MetaMask wallet. Your confirmations are recorded on-chain and your wallet address is like your e-signature. Here's an overview of the Create Proposal voting workflow. DAO members submit proposals on behalf of their DAO groups. Each DAO group may have multiple proposals submitted by each member, but will vote to select one proposal for execution. This stage is for proposal approval only. No funds are transferred yet. All proposals must be submitted on the same day, October 10. Let's have a look at the steps to submit. First, you go to Create Proposal on XDAO. You fill in proposal description. Define answer options, yes or no. Choose the voting token, meaning the DAO GT token address. Define time limit, meaning the 14 days voting period. Then you confirm in MetaMask. Proposal voting created successfully will look like this. After the DAO groups submit your proposal, in the first 7 days of the 14-day voting period, the proposals are preliminary qualified by DAO facilitators. Only the qualified proposals are listed in the DAO voting tracking sheet for DAO member to review and vote. Note that You can check DAO specific links of the DAO space, voting check-in sheet, etc. in Onboarding Hub page on DevDoc. And the voting check-in sheet will look like this. Then in the last 7 days of the 14-day voting period, DAO members will review and vote on the proposal listed in the DAO voting check-in sheet. Steps to vote are simple. First, you click on the voting link in the voting sheet. You review detail and click vote. You choose your voting option, yes or no, and confirm in MetaMask. But the important thing here is to keep in mind that each of the member is a reviewer to qualify DAO proposals and share your voice via the vote. Once the proposal is passed, DAO facilitator will initiate a send token voting for the first payment. As shared in DevDoc and onboarding phase, we follow 70-30 payment model. After execution, each DAO group submit a completion report. Send token vote for second payment will be initiated if the report is qualified. Let's have a look at the steps to create send token voting. First, you choose payment token USDT. Then fill in payment amount, recipient wallet, title, and description. Then you confirm in MetaMask and the 3-day voting period will begin immediately after confirmation. Then DAO facilitator will add the voting to the DAO voting check-in sheet and notify DAO member to review and vote to process the payment. Next, within 3 days after being notified by DAO facilitators, DAO members will review and vote on the send token voting listed in the DAO voting check-in sheet. Similarly, start to review and vote, including click the voting link in the voting sheet, review detail, and click sign to confirm your agreement and confirm in MetaMask. Once the 34 quorum is reached, send token voting can be activated by the DAO manager. Actually, any DAO member can do it. We just specify the role in charge to keep us on track. Note that after the send token voting is activated, payments will be auto-processed from the DAO wallet to the recipient wallet. Here's something beautiful about blockchain transparency. DAO members can view information of all transactions of your DAO in tab Info section Transaction History. You can click on the transaction ID to view public transaction detail on Polyscan. You can relate that with the public bank statement in traditional. As this program is a DAO experimentation, we invite you to reflect on each step of our journey. What are the good practices we should keep and what to learn and improve? For the good practices, we would like to highlight, firstly, the importance of core force. DAO should have strong group leader and key members supported by DAO facilitator and checking assistant. Secondly, the group check-in call is a good practice for communication, interaction, and alignment. And thirdly, regarding communication channels, we are using emails for announcement and reminder, Discord for discussion, and LinkedIn for individual check-in. Regarding learning and improving, firstly, we learned that there is an issue of low activeness from about 50% of the participants. Our approach for improvement is scheduling one-on-one check-in call with inactive member, aiming to increase engagement before proceeding with member removal. Secondly, we noticed that there may be technical barrier for some members. To improve, we will observe common issue and add instruction on DevDoc. Thirdly, and most importantly, the main concern from participants is about low decentralization. We will share some feedback we received in the next slide. Our approach for improvement is to break down project outcomes or activities so that different DAO members can take ownership of specific parts. For example, In a proposal plan with 2 activities, planting trees at an offline site and hosting an online skill training workshop, you can delegate each activity to different members. Let's reflect on the feedback from the participants. Why only one country directly benefits while others provide support? What measurements are being used for selecting the target location? Are there ways for members from all participating countries to have more input or share benefits in collaborative projects? Ensuring that all members understand how decisions are made. Create opportunities for all members so collaboration feels more equitable and inclusive. On behalf of Camera team, I would like to share our appreciation to this feedback. We are listening and invite all participants to think about how we can address this concern. We would like to encourage you to raise your hand to take ownership of a specific activity or outcome in the group proposal. And in the end, your vote matters. If the proposal cannot pass the vote in the first try, I think that's still a good learning opportunity for us. But of course, we refer the DAO groups can come to consensus in the first try. So we encourage the DAO group to address this concern from your DAO members. For question about how project locations are selected, we would like to share our approach and how we have come to that approach for your understanding. When designing the DAO experimentation program, we initially consider the approach of each member submitting an individual proposal, but we found it would be difficult to coordinate and inefficiency in terms of funding and execution. Therefore, we adopted the group-based approach where members are divided into smaller DAO groups. Each DAO group can have multiple proposals by each member, and the group then select one proposal for execution. Once a proposal is selected, all members in that group are encouraged to take ownership of specific part of the plan, from outcomes to activities and funds. To facilitate collaboration, we also invited any member to volunteer as a group leader to help coordinate communication and progress. Some members volunteered to take on this leadership role. This structure has ensured that decision-making remains democratic and transparent while allowing each group to build local initiatives collaboratively and effectively within the DAO framework. So let's review the timeline to integrate the learning and improving actions. In the next week, October 10 to October 17, DAO facilitator will follow up with DAO group to improve your group proposal by breaking down project outcomes and activities so that different DAO members can take ownership of specific parts. DAO facilitator will also arrange one-on-one check-in call, aiming to increase activeness before proceeding with member removal. This slide is just resharing DAO-specific links, including DAO space on XDAO and tracking spreadsheet mentioned in this presentation. Yeah, and that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening. If you have any question or discussion, please share in the chat box. We will follow up at the end of this meeting. Thank you.